Welcome back, investors. Jake here. In this video, I'm going to take a new stock position in that Kamikaze drone company that I talked about on my channel 2 days ago in my last Ukraine war update video. And the name of this company is AeroVironment, and prior to making that video about the Ukraine war, I had never heard of this company, didn't know anything about it. So I checked out their technicals, I checked out their fundamentals, and this does look like an interesting buy at this time. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Things you need to know about this company up front is its market cap is only $2.72 billion. So it's not a very large company, and it primarily focuses on drones. The CEO of the company is currently Wahid Nawabi, and we'll start this video by watching this clip from CNBC's Mad Money. And this is Jim Cramer interviewing the CEO, and this clip is actually from 5 years ago, 2017.
So Jim, before I get into the products, we are at great position. We are the leading global provider of system solutions to both defense and commercial markets, with drones, analytics, and robotics at the intersection of all of our solutions and products.
Okay, so it's important to distinguish that you also got commercial, and you do a lot of agriculture. You can this one we'll talk about in a second.
That's right.
But it's clear that you kind of got the field yourself right now.
That's right. This is a game changer for our customers, who are the men and women of our military in the front lines when they're being threatened by adversaries. Switchblade is a product and a solution that we introduced many years ago, about a decade ago. And essentially, it allows the warfighter in the front lines to put this thing out of their rucksack, carry it within 10 pounds weight, put it down, push a button, instantaneously get access to their surroundings, identify the adversaries, and then it actually has another incredible feature where it turns into a kamikaze drone or missile, and it basically follows the target and prosecutes it, so the good guys come home safe.
People tell me this is the most lethal thing in the skies. That's the word.
Jim, we're very proud of this product, and now we have grown this business. Our revenues since 2011 has gone from roughly $6 million in the space up to over $75 million last year. And the number of variants of this product has grown into multiple different variants, one of which we've spoken about, which is called Blackwing. It's basically a non-lethal version of the Switchblade that launches out of a submarine.
Wow. You do
That's
that.
right.
So they offer many different products and services. When we go on their website, you can click on Our Solutions, and it shows the various kinds of drones that they produce for commercial purposes. But the reason why I've learned about this company and I'm interested in today is because of their tactical missile systems. Now, the Switchblade 300 is the smaller kamikaze drone, has basically the explosive power of a hand grenade, and this has been around for almost 10 years. However, the Switchblade 600, which became, I guess, commercially available or operational for the military, only about a year or 2 years ago. And the Switchblade 600 is a much larger version that can seek and destroy and take out armored vehicles. There's also the Blackwing drone, which can be fired out of a submarine. I don't think this is going to help the Ukrainians in the short term. But what will are these Switchblade 300s, Switchblade 600s. They're already sending a small number of these to Ukraine. And what I think the United States military is doing is they want to see how these drones perform in an operational environment. They want to see if the Ukrainians are happy with them. So I think they sent 100 kits, each kit containing 10 of these kamikaze drones, so 1,000 in total. They're going to have the Ukrainians use these on Russian forces and then send the data back to the United States, back to this company. And if the data checks out, if the data looks good, I definitely can see the Pentagon putting in a humongous order to just start printing as many of these as AeroVironment can put out. And the tactical advantage of these small drones is Predator drones or larger drones require landing strips. You've got to park this thing somewhere when it's not flying, and that makes it vulnerable for the Russians to take out. Whereas with these Switchblades, you can conceal them very easily. They're man-portable. You can carry them around. these kamikaze drones, I don't see Russia adapting fast enough in order to defend their forces from this barrage coming. Additionally, it's the price. For the Switchblade 300, they only cost about $6,000, whereas a Hellfire missile from a Predator drone costs $150,000. So it's the cheap price and the portability and the versatility that I think is going to put this company on the map in high demand. But companies, defense companies that rely on government contracts, it can be iffy about their long-term prospects. But this company does have other commercially available drones for either surveillance, agriculture, whatever. So if you want to go on their website, you can learn more about their non-lethal drones, once again, because they do also have commercial availability. So let me show you the the fundamentals on macrotrends.net. And I wouldn't buy this company if I thought it was massively diluting their shareholders, has a lot of debts, isn't growing the revenue. But this company does look pretty decent from a valuation standpoint. When you look at their revenue, going all the way back to, let's see, which quarter is this? 2017, so that interview on Mad Money, you can see that their trailing 12-month revenue has consistently been growing up until the most recent quarter. Now, once again, this is not a very big company. They only did $438 million in revenue for this trailing 12 months as of the last quarter. But it's a growing company. That's all you really need to see. Net income, this is kind of a disappointment, but recently they were not profitable. I would have to do a deeper dive to understand why they had such a negative quarter, it looks like, in the third or second quarter of 2021. But they did return to a small positive net income the most recent quarter they reported. Shares outstanding, I just don't want to see massive dilution from a small cap company, basically diluting their shareholders in order to keep the company going. It does look like they've offered, this isn't a lot. This graph doesn't really tell you a lot. They went from 22 million shares in existence to 25 million shares. That's really not that bad as far as dilution. When we go to price ratios, you can't really look at P/E because they had that negative quarter, so the P/E is 0. So if we look at price to sales, we can see that the current price to sales of this company is 6.1. You could argue that if this is a company with good long-term prospects that's going to secure more government contracts to make these tactical drones, this easily could be a good time based on this ratio. It has been higher in the past. It was 7 before basically all the IPOs and SPACs and small caps crashed last December. It also hit 6.7 back in 2018. So there is this cyclical effect where this company gets a lot of hype, gets a lot of buzz, investors pump it up. And I don't see why it would be any different right now with this war in Ukraine going on. For fun, we'll look at price to free cash flow, but this doesn't really tell you anything useful because they had this wonky quarter. All right, let's go to the technicals now. And this is good because the share price of AVAV recently got back above its 200-day moving average. When all the SPACs and IPOs and small caps started crashing last November, December, AVAV also crashed. So where was it at? It reached a high back in January of close to, I think, 140, 145. And then when everything else in the market that was, high growth companies started selling off, AVAV crashed and it got as low as $53. So it was as low as $53 back in January. Oh, this was January of 2021. I'm sorry, guys. So this was 14 or 15 months ago. So yeah, it was a slow burn, slow decline, fell off a cliff when all the other small caps crashed, reached a low of $53 and then doubled up to 108, 109. It's currently at 107. So just looking at the technicals, ignoring the fundamentals, all of the moving averages are starting to line up. This is a stock potentially in a new uptrend from a technical perspective. So you can see midterm, long-term, it's looking bullish as all of the moving averages are close to lining up. And where do I see lines of support, lines of resistance? Obviously, sellers, buyers stepped in close to this $52, $53 range. So that appears to be the floor. And I think there's going to be selling pressure at the previous highs up here at 140. But if there is a press release put out saying that the United States government wants $50 million worth of these 6,000 Switchblade 300s, or how much is the Switchblade 600? I think it's like 40 or 50,000. So they could, I mean, money is not an issue here. The constraint would be how fast can AeroVironment make these drones that can then get shipped to the conflict in Ukraine. So what is my goal here? What's my bailouts? This is obviously a momentum trade, and I don't think I would want to actually hold this stock until the company's next earnings report on June 28th. So where is this going to go? Potentially to $150. So what I'm looking to do, I'm not trading options on this stock. Normally I trade options, but with small caps, I just buy the stock. So I'm looking to purchase about $5,000 worth of AVAV, and I want to hold it until it gets close to about $150. At that point, I'll check the news and see if any large orders were put in and if that is helping the stock before it reports earnings on June 28th. So let's go into my Schwab account. It's been kind of brutal this last month as the market's been pulling back, but we're going to pop in and place an order for about $5,000 worth of AVAV. So in Schwab's all-in-one trade tickets, I'm doing a market order for 50 shares of AVAV. It's giving me an estimate of $5,406. That looks to be about what I'm willing to spend on this somewhat speculative play, but let's go ahead and review and execute. When we go back into my account holdings, we now see the quantity 50 shares with a cost basis of 5,403. And we'll just wrap up this video by talking about how much my Schwab account is down currently. And the reason why is I'm almost fully leveraged here, guys. As far as cash left to invest, I only have $2,685. So I'm extremely vulnerable and exposed at the moment. My account was at $64,000 on March 29th, and it's currently down to $48,000. So this is the risk and the power of leveraging your money with call contracts and options. So you have to be able to stomach this, seeing your account drop $17,000 in less than a month, basically. When we check in with my positions, HCI is down 46%. Facebook, these Facebook stupid call contracts are down 93%. Netflix down 47%. Texas Instruments down 30%. The Amazon spread, I think, is currently down. You can see, yeah, it's down $400. And my Google spread looks messed up because I actually triggered a wash sale with these calls that I sold at a strike of 2,700. I had done a debit spread and I bought to close at a strike of 2,700. So it changed my cost basis based on my previous debit spread. I'm not actually down 5,600 on these calls that I sold. I'm up, but it can't show me that or tell me that because it assumes my cost per share is based on what it would be for tax purchases, not what I actually paid for the contracts. But total, all of these positions that I'm still holding, I'm down $28,000. I've sold my winners recently, like Berkshire Hathaway, but I just have to hold because SPY currently, the entire market currently is in the oversold range, and I need to wait for a rally. There are earnings reports coming this week, Netflix reports tomorrow, Tesla reports like on Thursday. I kind of need these to be good news in order for the market to get a bounce, but I'm actually encouraged the fact that the market is pulling back so dramatically, but we're not retesting the previous lows. We're making a new higher low. This is what's helping me sleep at night, guys. But if the market can just rally and rebound, SPY can get back to 460, that should lift my account up and get me out of the red back to where I was basically a month ago. Okay everyone, if you found this video informative, give me a thumbs up so the algorithm knows it's good. If you have any comments, questions, or thoughts on AeroVironment as a stock pick, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. Till the next video, take care.